ಅಬ್ಬಕ್ಕ ಉತ್ಸವ ಸಮಿತಿ ಕೇವಲ ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೊಮ್ಮೆ ಉತ್ಸವವನ್ನು ಮಾತ್ರ ಮಾಡದೆ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ರೀತಿಯ ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕ ಚಟುವಟಿಕೆಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ವಿಶೇಷವಾಗಿ ನಿಮ್ಮಂತಹ ಶಾಲಾ ಕಾಲೇಜುಗಳನ್ನು ಭೇಟಿ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೆ ಕೂಡ ರಾಣಿ ಅಬ್ಬಕ್ಕಳ ಸ್ಟೋರಿಯನ್ನು ಬಹಳ ಅದ್ಭುತವಾಗಿ ನಾವು ನೀಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಉದ್ಘಾಟನೆಯನ್ನು ಇವತ್ತು ನೆರವೇರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಉದ್ಘಾಟನೆಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರ ನೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಮಾಜಿ ಶಾಸಕರಾದಂತಹ ಜಯರಾಮ್ ಶೆಟ್ಟಿಯವರು, ಉಳ್ಳಾಲ ವೀರರಾಣಿ ಅಬ್ಬಕ್ಕ ಉತ್ಸವ ಸಮಿತಿಯ ಸ್ಥಾಪಕಾಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರಾದಂತಹ ಜಯರಾಮ್ ಶೆಟ್ಟಿ ಮತ್ತು ವೇದಿಕೆಯಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತಹ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅತಿಥಿವರ್ಯರು ಮತ್ತು ಕೆಳಗಿರುವಂತಹ ಅಬ್ಬಕ್ಕ ಉತ್ಸವ ಸಮಿತಿಯ ಸದಸ್ಯರು ಕೂಡ ವೇದಿಕೆಗೆ ಬರಬೇಕಾಗಿ ಕೇಳಿಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಎಂಬಂತೆ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ವಿದ್ಯುಕ್ತವಾಗಿ ಉದ್ಘಾಟಿಸಿದ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಧನ್ಯವಾದವನ್ನು ಸಮರ್ಪಿಸುತ್ತಾ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಉದ್ಘಾಟಕರಾದಂತಹ ಸನ್ಮಾನ್ಯ ಶ್ರೀ ಜಯರಾಮ್ ಶೆಟ್ಟಿಯವರು ಅಬ್ಬಕ್ಕ ಉತ್ಸವ ಸಮಿತಿ ನಡೆದು ಬಂದ ದಾರಿ ಮತ್ತು ಉದ್ಘಾಟನೆಯ ಸವಿ ನುಡಿಗಳನ್ನು ಹೇಳಬೇಕಾಗಿ ಕೇಳಿಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ.
ಕಣಚೂರು ಪ್ರೀ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಿಟಿ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಫಾರ್ ವಿಮೆನ್ ಇದರ ಪ್ರಾಂಶುಪಾಲರೇ, ಡೀನ್ರವರೇ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಅಧ್ಯಾಪಕ ವರ್ಗದವರೇ, ಶಾಲಾ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿನಿಗಳೇ, ಇವತ್ತು ಈ ಅನ್ಟೋಲ್ಡ್ ಸ್ಟೋರಿ ಆಫ್ ರಾಣಿ ಅಬ್ಬಕ್ಕ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ಈ ವರ್ಷದ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಈ ವಿದ್ಯಾಕ್ಷೇತ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಪ್ರಾರಂಭಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. 1997ರಲ್ಲಿ ರಾಣಿ ಅಬ್ಬಕ್ಕ ಉತ್ಸವವನ್ನು ನಾವು ಉಳ್ಳಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭ ಮಾಡಿದೆವು. ತುಳು ಸಾಹಿತ್ಯ ಅಕಾಡೆಮಿಯ ನೇತೃತ್ವದಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಪ್ರದೇಶವನ್ನು ಧರ್ಮ ಸಮನ್ವಯಗೊಳಿಸುವ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಿಂದ ಎಲ್ಲ ಜಾತಿ ಮತ ಭೇದವಿಲ್ಲದೆ ನಾವು ಒಟ್ಟಾಗಿ ಇರಬೇಕು ಎಂಬ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯನ್ನಿಟ್ಟುಕೊಂಡು ಉಳ್ಳಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ವೀರರಾಣಿ ಅಬ್ಬಕ್ಕ ಉತ್ಸವವನ್ನು ನಾವು ಆಚರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ರಾಣಿ ಅಬ್ಬಕ್ಕ ಧರ್ಮ ಸಮನ್ವಯಕ್ಕೆ ಹೆಸರಾದವಳು. ನಾವು ಹೆಮ್ಮೆಯಿಂದ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ, ಬನ್ನಿ ಅಬ್ಬಕ್ಕಳ ನಾಡಿಗೆ ಧರ್ಮ ಸಮನ್ವಯದ ಬೀಡಿಗೆ ಅಂತ. ಯಾಕಂತ ಹೇಳಿದರೆ ಅಬ್ಬಕ್ಕನ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಮುಸ್ಲಿಮರು ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಪ್ರಮಾಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಉಳ್ಳಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಜಿಲ್ಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಇದ್ದರು. ಅಬ್ಬಕ್ಕಳ ಸೇನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಸ್ಲಿಮರು ಮತ್ತು ಕ್ರಿಶ್ಚಿಯನ್ರು, ಹಿಂದೂಗಳು ಜೊತೆಯಾಗಿ ಒಟ್ಟಾಗಿದ್ದರು. ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ ಧರ್ಮ ಸಮನ್ವಯದ ನಾಡಿಗೆ ಅಂತ ನಮ್ಮ ಹೆಸರು. ಪೋರ್ಚುಗೀಸರ ವಿರುದ್ಧ ಹೋರಾಡಿದಂಥ ಮಹಿಳೆ, ಪ್ರಥಮ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ ಹೋರಾಟಗಾರ್ತಿ ಎಂಬ ಬಿರುದನ್ನು ಅವಳಿಗೆ ಕೇಂದ್ರ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಮತ್ತು ರಾಜ್ಯ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ದಯಪಾಲಿಸಿದೆ. ಈ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಪ್ರಥಮವಾದಂಥ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ ಹೋರಾಟಗಾರ್ತಿ ಮಹಾತ್ಮ ಗಾಂಧಿಯವರು ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಸರ್ದಾರ್ ವಲ್ಲಭಾಯ್ ಪಟೇಲ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಜವಾಹರ್ಲಾಲ್ ನೆಹರು ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಹಿರಿಯ ನಮ್ಮ ಎಲ್ಲ ರಾಜಕಾರಣಿಗಳು, ಇವರು ಅಸಹಕಾರ ಚಳವಳಿಯನ್ನು ಪ್ರಾರಂಭ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮೊದಲೇ ಅಬ್ಬಕ್ಕ ಉಳ್ಳಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಪೋರ್ಚುಗೀಸರ ವಿರುದ್ಧ ಸೇನಾ ಕಾರ್ಯಾಚರಣೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಅಸಹಕಾರ ಚಳವಳಿಯನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಮಾಡಿದಳು. ಈ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು ಗ್ರಾಮೀಣ ಪ್ರದೇಶ, ಆಗ ಬಸ್ಸೆಲ್ಲ ಇರದಂಥ ಕಾಲ 1545-40ರಿಂದ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಆವಾಗ ಈ ಪ್ರದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಕಬ್ಬು ಭತ್ತ ಬೆಳೀತಾ ಇತ್ತು, ಹೇರಳವಾಗಿ ಬೆಳೀತಾ ಇತ್ತು. ಪೋರ್ಚುಗೀಸರು ಈ ಪ್ರದೇಶಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಮಳಿಗೆಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿದರು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಬೆಳೆದಂಥ ರೈತರು ಬೆಳೆದಂಥ ಅಕ್ಕಿ, ಜೋಳ, ಕಬ್ಬು, ಬೆಲ್ಲ ಇವನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಅವರ ಮಳಿಗೆಗಳಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಹಾಕಬೇಕು, ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದ ಕಾವನ್ನು ನಾವು ತೆಕ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಅಬ್ಬಕ್ಕ ಮೊದಲು ಮಾಡಿದ ಕೆಲಸ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದರೆ, ಯಾರು ಪೋರ್ಚುಗೀಸರ ಮಳಿಗೆಗಳಿಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಕೃಷಿ ಉತ್ಪನ್ನಗಳನ್ನು ಹಾಕಬಾರದು, ಅದು ಅಸಹಕಾರ ಚಳವಳಿ. ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಇವರು, ಎಷ್ಟು ಕಾಲ ಈ ದೇಶವನ್ನು ಆಳ್ವಿಕೆ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಎಂಬ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆಯಿಂದ ಅಬ್ಬಕ್ಕಳು ಈ ಪ್ರದೇಶವನ್ನು ಗಟ್ಟಿಯಾಗಿ ಹಿಡಿದುಕೊಂಡವಳು. ನಮ್ಮ ರಾಜ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಕಿತ್ತೂರು ಚೆನ್ನಮ್ಮ, ಸಂಗೊಳ್ಳಿ ರಾಯಣ್ಣ, ಝಾನ್ಸಿ ರಾಣಿ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮೀಬಾಯಿ, ತಾತ್ಯಾ ಟೋಪಿ, ಮಂಗಲ ಪಾಂಡೆ ಇತ್ಯಾದಿ ನಾಯಕರು, ವೀರ ನಾಯಕರು ಈ ದೇಶದ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಹೋರಾಡಿ ತನ್ನ ಪ್ರಾಣವನ್ನು ತೆತ್ತವರು, ಬಲಿದಾನಗೈದವರು. ಅವರ ಸಾಲಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಂಚೂಣಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದವರು ಅಬ್ಬಕ್ಕ ರಾಣಿ. ರಾಣಿ ಅಬ್ಬಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ನಾವು ವೀರ ರಾಣಿ ಅಂತ ಹೆಸರನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೆವು. 3 ಜನ ಅಬ್ಬಕ್ಕಂದಿರಿದ್ದರು. ಇತಿಹಾಸದ ಪುಟಗಳನ್ನು ಅವಲೋಕನ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ 3 ಜನ ಅಬ್ಬಕ್ಕಂದಿರಿದ್ದರು. ಅವರಲ್ಲಿ 2ನೇಯವಳೇ ಪೋರ್ಚುಗೀಸರ ವಿರುದ್ಧ ಹೋರಾಡಿ ಜಯಗಳಿಸಿ ಆನಂತರ ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಪ್ರಾಣದೆತ್ತವಳು. ಈ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಿಂದ ಈ ಪ್ರದೇಶ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ ಹೋರಾಟ ಪಡೆದಂಥ ದೇಶ ಪ್ರದೇಶ. ಪೋರ್ಚುಗೀಸರಿಗೋಸ್ಕರ ತನ್ನ ಪ್ರಾಣವನ್ನು ತೆತ್ತವಳು. ದೇಶದ ಪ್ರಪ್ರಥಮ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ ಹೋರಾಟಗಾರ್ತಿ ಎಂಬ ಬಿರುದನ್ನು ಪಡೆದಿದ್ದರಿಂದ ನಾವು 1997ರಲ್ಲಿ ಅಬ್ಬಕ್ಕ ಉತ್ಸವ ಸಮಿತಿಯನ್ನು ರಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ನಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರದೇಶವನ್ನು ಆಳಿದಂಥ ಮಹಿಳೆ ಅವಳ ನೆನಪನ್ನು ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯ ಜನರಿಗೆ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗುವಂಥ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾಯಿದೆ. ಕಳೆದ ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ ದಿನಕರ್ ಉಳ್ಳಾಲರ ನೇತೃತ್ವದಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಪ್ರದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿರುವ ಪ್ರೌಢಶಾಲೆಗಳು, ಕಾಲೇಜುಗಳು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಥರದ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿ ಯಾರು ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಜನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಈ ಪ್ರದೇಶವನ್ನು ಆಳಿದಂಥ ಮಹಿಳೆಯ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು. ಅದು ಒಬ್ಬ ಮಹಿಳೆಯಾಗಿದ್ದುಕೊಂಡು ನಾವು ಅವರನ್ನು ಕಡೆಗಣಿಸುವಂಥ ಯಾವುದೇ ಪ್ರಸಂಗ ಬಾರದೇ ಇರುವ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅಬ್ಬಕ್ಕಳ ಗುಣಗಾನ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಅಬ್ಬಕ್ಕಳು ನಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಕಟ್ಟಿ ಬೆಳೆಸಿದವಳು. ನಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಒಬ್ಬ ವೀರ ವನಿತೆ ಝಾನ್ಸಿ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮೀಬಾಯಿ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಬೆಳವಡಿ ಮಲ್ಲಮ್ಮ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಕಿತ್ತೂರು ಚೆನ್ನಮ್ಮ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಇವರ ಸಾಲಿಗೆ ಸೇರಿದಂಥವಳು. ಇತಿಹಾಸದ ಉದ್ದಕ್ಕೂ ಈ ಧೀರ 3 ಜನ ಮಹಿಳೆಯರ ಸಾಲಿಗೆ ಸೇರಿದವಳು ರಾಣಿ ಅಬ್ಬಕ್ಕ. ಇವತ್ತು ನಾವು ಹೆಮ್ಮೆಯಿಂದ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. 1997ರಿಂದ ನಾವೇನು ಉಳ್ಳಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ವೀರರಾಣಿ ಅಬ್ಬಕ್ಕ ಉತ್ಸವವನ್ನು ಪ್ರಾರಂಭ ಮಾಡಿದರು. ರಾಜ್ಯ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಮತ್ತು ಕೇಂದ್ರ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ರಾಜಕಾರಣಿಗಳು, ಕೇಂದ್ರದ ಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳು, ರಾಜ್ಯದ ಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳು ಮಂಗಳೂರಿಗೆ ಅಥವಾ ದಕ್ಷಿಣ ಕನ್ನಡ ಜಿಲ್ಲೆಗೆ ಬಂದಾಗ ಅಬ್ಬಕ್ಕಳನ್ನು ನೆನೆಸಿಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಮಗೆ ಸಂತೋಷ ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ಬೇರೆ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆನೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ನಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಆಳಿದಂಥ ಒಬ್ಬ ಮಹಿಳೆ ಇವಳು ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ರೀತಿಯಿಂದ ಧರ್ಮ ಸಮನ್ವಯ, ಕುಟ್ಟಿಪೋಕರೆ ಮತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ ಮೊಗವೀರ ಸಂಘದ ಒಬ್ಬ ಚೆನ್ನಮರಕಾಳ ಇಬ್ಬರು ಧರ್ಮ ಸಮನ್ವಯಕ್ಕೆ ಹೆಸರಾದವರು. ಮುಸ್ಲಿಮರು ಮತ್ತು ಹಿಂದೂಗಳು ಒಟ್ಟಾಗಿದ್ದುಕೊಂಡು ತನ್ನ ಸೇನೆಯನ್ನು ಮುಂದುವರಿಸಿದ್ರು. ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ ಧರ್ಮ ಸಮನ್ವಯ ಒಂದೇ ಸಮುದಾಯಕ್ಕೆ, ಒಂದೇ ಜಾತಿಗೆ ಅಂತ ಸೀಮಿತವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ರೀತಿಯಿಂದ ನಮ್ಮ ಸಮಾಜವನ್ನು ಮುಂದಕ್ಕೆ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡೋಳಿ ಅಬ್ಬಕ್ಕ ಮಾರ್ಗದರ್ಶನ ಮಾಡಿದವಳು. ಆ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅಬ್ಬಕ್ಕಳ ನೆನಪನ್ನು ಚಿರಸ್ಥಾಯಿಯಾಗಿ ಇಟ್ಟುಕೊಳ್ಳುವ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಿಂದ ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ಹಮ್ಮಿಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ಸಾಧನೆ ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ದೊಡ್ಡದೇನಲ್ಲದಿದ್ದರೂ ಕೂಡ ಮಂಗಳೂರು ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾನಿಲಯದಲ್ಲಿ ರಾಣಿ ಅಬ್ಬಕ್ಕಳ ಅಧ್ಯಯನ ಪೀಠ ಮಾಡುವಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಯಶಸ್ವಿಯಾಗಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಅಬ್ಬಕ್ಕಳ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭದ ಉತ್ಸವ 1997ರಲ್ಲಿ ಅಬ್ಬಕ್ಕಳ ಇತಿ ಆದಿ ಎಂಬ ಗ್ರಂಥವನ್ನು ನಾವು ಪ್ರಕಟಿಸಿದೆವು. ಅಬ್ಬಕ್ಕ ಕಥಾ ಸಂಕಥನ ಪುಸ್ತಕವನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿದೆವು. ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಅಬ್ಬಕ್ಕ ಭವನ ತೊಕ್ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಆಗಲಿಲ್ಲ, ನಾನು ಒಪ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. ಅಬ್ಬಕ್ಕ ಭವನ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಸುಮಾರು ನಮಗೆ ಆ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿ ವಿ ಸದಾನಂದ ಗೌಡರು ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿ ಇರುವಾಗ ಸುಮಾರು 4 ಕೋಟಿ ರೂಪಾಯಿವರೆಗೆ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭದಲ್ಲೇ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದರು. ಆದರೆ ಜಿಲ್ಲಾಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳ ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಅದೇನು ಹಣ ಬರಲ್ಲ. ಜಿಲ್ಲಾಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳು ಹಾಕುವಂಥ ನಕ್ಷೆಗೆ ಮತ್ತು ಹಣಕ್ಕೆ ವ್ಯತ್ಯಾಸ ಆಗಿದ್ದರಿಂದ ಅದು ವಿಳಂಬ ಆಗುತ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಅಬ್ಬಕ್ಕ ಉತ್ಸವ ಕೂಡ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಉತ್ಸವದ ನಾವು ಸುಮಾರು 97ರಿಂದ ನನಗೆ ನೆನಪಿನ ಪ್ರಕಾರ 2008ರವರೆಗೆ ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮದೇ ಹಣ, ಸಾರ್ವಜನಿಕರಿಂದ ಹಣ ಸಂಗ್ರಹ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಯಡಿಯೂರಪ್ಪನವರು 2008ರಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿ ಆಗಿರುವಾಗ ನಾನು ಮತ್ತು ದಿನಕರ್ ಉಳ್ಳಾಲ ಡಿ ವಿ ಸದಾನಂದ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡೋಗಿ ನಮಗೆ ಅಬ್ಬಕ್ಕ ಉತ್ಸವಕ್ಕೆ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ದೇಣಿಗೆ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು, ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂತ ಹೇಳಿದಾಗ ಅವರು ತಕ್ಷಣ ಏನು ಅತ್ಲಾಗೆ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು 25 ಲಕ್ಷವನ್ನು ನಮಗೆ ಗ್ರ್ಯಾಂಟ್ ಹಾಕಿಕೊಟ್ರು. ಆನಂತರ ಕೆಲವು ಇವತ್ತಿನವರೆಗೂ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಆದರೆ ಜಿಲ್ಲಾಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳು ಒಂದು 4-5 ವರ್ಷ ನಮಗೆ ಅಬ್ಬಕ್ಕ ಉತ್ಸವ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಅನುದಾನ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದ ನಂತರ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ಹಣ, ನೀವು ಖಾಸಗಿ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯವರು ನಿಮಗೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಕೊಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬರೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ನಾವು ಸರ್ಕಾರಿ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆಯಲ್ಲೇ ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ ಅಂತ ಅವರು ಪ್ರತ್ಯೇಕ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದು ಬೇರೆ ವಿಚಾರ. ಆದರೆ ನಮಗೆ ಸಂತೋಷ, ರಾಣಿ ಅಬ್ಬಕ್ಕಳ ವಿಚಾರವನ್ನು ಜನಮಾನಸಕ್ಕೆ ಮುಟ್ಟುವಂಥ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ನೀವು ಮಹಿಳೆಯರು ಮುಂದಿನ ದಿನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ರಾಣಿಯವರು ಆಗುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಇವತ್ತು ರಾಜಕಾರಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಹಿಳೆಯರ ಸಂಖ್ಯೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಈ ಶಾಲೆಯಿಂದ ಮುಂದಿನ ದಿನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ವೀರ ರಾಣಿಯನ್ನು ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಟುಕೊಂಡು ಈ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ರಾಜಕೀಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಭಾವ ಬೀರುವಂಥ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳಾಗಿ ಅಥವಾ ಪ್ರಧಾನಮಂತ್ರಿ ಆಗಲಿ ನೀವು ಹೊರಗೆ ಬಂದರೆ ಬಹುಶಃ ನಮಗೂ ಸಂತೋಷ. ನಾವು ಏನಾಗಲಿ ಈ ರಾಣಿ ಅಬ್ಬಕ್ಕಳ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಿಂದ ಉಳ್ಳಾಲ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಬ್ಬರು ಮಹಿಳೆ ಮುಂದೆ ರಾಜಕಾರಣದಲ್ಲಿ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದೆ. ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ ಇವತ್ತು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಸಂಖ್ಯೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮಹಿಳೆಯರು ನೀವಿಲ್ಲಿ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿನಿಯರು ಸೇರಿದ್ದೀರಿ. ಅಬ್ಬಕ್ಕಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ, ಅಬ್ಬಕ್ಕಳ ಸ್ಥಿತಿಗತಿಯ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನೀವಿಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಂದಕ್ಕೆ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಲಿ ಸಹಕರಿಸಬೇಕು. ಅಬ್ಬಕ್ಕಳ ವಿಚಾರವನ್ನು ಇನ್ನಷ್ಟು ನೀವು ಪತ್ರಿಕೆಗಳಿಗಾಗಲಿ ಕತೆ ಪುಸ್ತಕಗಳಿಗಾಗಲಿ ಮುಂದಿನ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಳವಡಿಸಿಕೊಳ್ಳಲು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ, ನಾವು ಮುಂದಿನ ದಿನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಮಂಗಳೂರು ಅಂತಾರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ವಿಮಾನ ನಿಲ್ದಾಣಕ್ಕೆ ವೀರರಾಣಿ ಅಬ್ಬಕ್ಕಳ ಹೆಸರನ್ನು ಇಡಬೇಕು. ಜೊತೆಗೆ ತೊಕ್ಕೋಟ್ನಿಂದ ಉಳ್ಳಾಲಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗುವ ಓವರ್ ಬ್ರಿಡ್ಜ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಸರ್ಕಲನ್ನು ನಿರ್ಮಾಣ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಈಗಿನ ಜಿಲ್ಲಾಧಿಕಾರಿ ಕಚೇರಿಯ ಮುಂಭಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಮಿಲ್ಟನ್ ಸರ್ಕಲ್ ಅಂತ ಉಂಟು. ಹೆಮಿಲ್ಟನ್ ಎಂಬವರು ಆಗ ಜಿಲ್ಲಾ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದರು, ಅವರ ಹೆಸರನ್ನು ಇಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರು ಆದರೆ ಆ ಕಟ್ಟಡ, ಕೆಂಪು ಕಟ್ಟಡ, ಹಳೆ ಕಟ್ಟಡ, ಈಗಿನ ಜಿಲ್ಲಾಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳಿದೆ, ಅದು ಅಬ್ಬಕ್ಕ ಕಟ್ಟಿಸಿದ್ದು. ಯಾಕಂತ ಹೇಳಿದರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿಯ 1ನೇ ಮಾಳಿಗೆಯಿಂದ ನೋಡಿದರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಸಮುದ್ರ ಬಹಳ ದೂರದವರೆಗೆ ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು ಆಗ. ಆ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಿಂದ ಪೋರ್ಚುಗೀಸರ ಹಡಗನ್ನು ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ ಮಾಡುವ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಿಂದ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಕೆಂಪು ಕಟ್ಟಡ, ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ ಅಬ್ಬಕ್ಕಳ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಚ್ಯೂವನ್ನು, ಮೂರ್ತಿಯನ್ನು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಥಾಪನೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕೆಂಬ ಬೇಡಿಕೆಯನ್ನು ನಾವು ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ಮುಂದೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಈ ಎಲ್ಲ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಿಂದ ತಮ್ಮ ಗಮನವನ್ನು ನಾವು ಅಬ್ಬಕ್ಕಳ ವಿಚಾರಕ್ಕೆ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾ, ಈ ದೇಶವನ್ನು, ಈ ರಾಜ್ಯವನ್ನು ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯದ ಪ್ರಪ್ರಥಮ ಕಹಳೆಯನ್ನು ಊದಿದಂಥ ಮಹಿಳೆಯ ಹೆಸರನ್ನು ನಾವು ದೇಶವ್ಯಾಪಿ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಮುಂದಿನ ದಿನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಅಬ್ಬಕ್ಕ ಉತ್ಸವ ಸಮಿತಿ ಇರ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಅಬ್ಬಕ್ಕಳಿಗೋಸ್ಕರ ಯಾರೇ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡೋ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಿಂದ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸಹಕಾರ, ಸಹಾಯ ಸದಾ ನಮಗೆ ಇರಲಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ, ಮುಂದಿನ ದಿನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಅಬ್ಬಕ್ಕ ನಿಮಗೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ವಿದ್ಯಾಭ್ಯಾಸದಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೇರಣೆಯಾಗಲಿ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ದೈನಂದಿನ ಮತ್ತು ಮುಂದಿನ ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕ ಚಟುವಟಿಕೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಅಬ್ಬಕ್ಕಳ ಜೀವನ ಚರಿತ್ರೆ ನಿಮಗೊಂದು ಮಾದರಿಯಾಗಲಿ ಅಂತ ಹಾರೈಸಿ ನನ್ನ ಮಾತನ್ನು ಮುಗಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಜೈ ಹಿಂದ್, ಜೈ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ.
ಈಗ ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣವಾದಂಥ ಮಾಹಿತಿಯ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಅಬ್ಬಕ್ಕಳ, ವೀರವನಿತೆ ಅಬ್ಬಕ್ಕಳ ಒಂದು ಚಿತ್ರಣವನ್ನು ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ನಿಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ವಿನಂತಿ, ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಕೇಳಿ, ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಸಮಿತಿಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಪಬ್ಲಿಷ್ ಮಾಡುವಂತಹ ವಿಚಾರವನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ಡೀನ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ನಿಮಗೆ ಅವಕಾಶವನ್ನು ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. ನೀವು ಕೂಡ ರಾಣಿ ಅಬ್ಬಕ್ಕಳಾಗೆ ಮುಂದೊಂದು ದಿನ ಭಾರತದ ವೀರವನಿತೆಯರಾಗಿ ಅಂತ ಅಪೇಕ್ಷೆಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡುತ್ತಾ, ಈಗ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮುಂದೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಸಮಿತಿಯ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರಾದಂತಹ ದಿನಕರ್ ಉಳ್ಳಾಲ್.
ವೇದಿಕೆಯಲ್ಲಿರುವ ಎಲ್ಲ ಗಣ್ಯ ಅತಿಥಿಗಳೇ, ಅಬ್ಬಕ್ಕ ಸಮಿತಿಯ ಪದಾಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳೇ, ಶಾಲೆಯ ಮುಖ್ಯೋಪಾಧ್ಯಾಯರೇ, ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಾಲ್ರವರೇ, ಬಂದಿರುವ ಎಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮ ಈ ಶಾಲೆಯ ಅಧ್ಯಾಪಕರೊಂದವರೇ, ಮಕ್ಕಳೇ ಹಾಗೂ ಬಂಧು ಭಗಿನಿಯರೇ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಊಟ ಆಯ್ತಾ ನಿಮ್ಮದು? 4 ದಿವಸ ರಜೆ ಇತ್ತು, ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದಿರಿ? ಈಗ ಎಷ್ಟು ಗಂಟೆ ಹೋಗಬೇಕು? ಓಕೆ, ನಾನು ಕನ್ನಡ ಮೀಡಿಯಂ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್. ಅವರು ನನ್ನ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದರು, ನಾನು ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಕಲ್ತಿದ್ದೇನೆ ಅಂತೇಳಿ. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಟ್ರೂ, ಐ ಸ್ಟಡಿಡ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ NITK Engineering College. My 2 sons also, they studied from NITK Engineering College. They both are twins. They have finished their PhD in America. They are working there. And I am now not an engineer, I am just a politician. So Jairam Shetty and all, myself are not politicians. Okay, now the thing is, I speak only in English, okay, because a lot of people are knowing only English. Kannada is less. 2 dignitaries already spoke, 3 people have already spoke about Abbakka. Now the untold story of Abbakka. How many of you know very, very well about Abbakka? Tell me one thing very well. Raise your hand. Who is Abbakka? Tell me. I can't hear you. Okay, now the thing is, who she fought along with it? Who she fought? Portuguese. Okay, right. You know where is Portuguese? Where is Portugal? It is in the Europe country. Correct? See, this Portugal How big is the Portugal? Can you make out? India is almost now 36 states or 37 states. So one state is equal to one Portugal. The Portugal kingdom, I'm talking about, kindly imagine yourself, 500 years back. There are ladies were there are gents were there, but there is no vehicles, there is no telephones, there is no roads, there is no facilities like even dress was there and also not there. So imagine the situation all 1500 afterwards, that is 16th century. The Portugal, such a small city, ruled by a king. They started 1497, I think your history teacher will know. Vasco da Gama started. Vasco da Gama started from Lisbon. He is not the only one voyager who has come to search for India. Before him, who has come? Columbus has come. But Columbus, unfortunately, went to searching for India, but he went towards other side, where he searched West India. He called now, that time Barbados. He went there, and that is why that Portuguese has landed in where? West Indies, Brazil, Argentina and all. This Vasco da Gama is only he is not a viceroy, he is not a captain or this thing. But he knew how to navigate the things and all. The king told him, see, this is the thing which you have to kindly listen all the things, because it's very important. Why Portuguese has to come to India? Why Europe people has to come to India? Tell me one reason. Yes. Indian spice, western side, all places, spices were ready. What are spices? Pepper, lavanga, shunti, this thing. These are all going to the European countries, but that is not the route. They were going via western this thing, Arabian countries, Persia, and they were going on the road that is called Silk Road. So they were reaching all these things, Lisbon, Italy, Venice and Spain, they were reaching all these things. But the king had an idea, because by the time when the peppers are reaching there in Lisbon, it was very costly. So they wanted to find out, why can't we do the sea route and all? So they were not knowing at all the sea route. So they trying and all. So till they came up to the Africa, because they were coming to the Africa. Why they were coming to the Africa? Because slaves were there. All European countries, they were purchasing the slaves. Whose slaves means all dark Africans. They were coming, all Europeans, they need a labor. They were purchasing the slaves. That means human beings. They are not this thing. They are taking the slaves. So all western coast of Africa were slaves. And the gold was also there. Mining was there. So these Portuguese, Spains, they were all knowing this western side of Africa. But nobody dared to come to India because the roughness of Arabian Sea, and they were not knowing the route. So this Vasco da Gama with 4 ships and 250 very good navigators and everybody, they came Cape of Town. Now that time it was Hope, this thing, Cape of Hope. They came to Mozambique. There one Gujarat soldier was there. Gujarat, one Muslim navigator was there. He said, I'll show you the India. Till that time, Vasco da Gama was not knowing that. He started in 97. By the time he reached Africa, it was almost 7-8 months is over. So 4 months, after 4 months, traveling in the Arabian Sea, it's a very rough sea. His 2 boats collapsed, everything collapsed. His brothers died, everybody died, except 2, this thing, almost 70 people. They came and landed. Can you make out where is they landed? Any historyman, can you take out where? Yes, right, you are right. Calicut, which is the name place? Papat is the name that place. So that is a place. It was April 20th, 1498. So there he landed. Even if you go there now, you can see that this thing is there. Now the thing is, when he reached that place, there are a lot of Hindus are there and Muslims were there. and the Christians also there. That king was the Jamorin king. This Vasco da Gama thought this all Hindus are all Christians and all. So he did not know this Hindu religion was there and all. But unfortunately what happened for him was this Jamorin king, who was a Calicut, who was the leader of this thing, who was the king of this thing, initially welcomed him because he had this lot of silk items, other items and all. But later on what happened when the Muslims warriors or Muslims soldiers or Muslims traders, they told Jamarin, see, this is a very dangerous thing. They are all Western people. They are going to control ourselves. We will not be able to do any trading here. So that time Jamarin said, you go back, please go back and all. But they didn't do it, but they started fighting. But that time the Jamorin king won the war. So slowly this Vasco da Gama came to he went to Cochin, then he came to Kannur, he came towards, he did not land anywhere. He did not land anywhere else. He came to the St. Mary's Island, he came to the Diu, can you make out this thing, in Karwa there is an island is there. Then he went to then he went back to the, again Portuguese. Again he informed his king. He said very thing about the India. There are so many things are there. So many items are there. We can again do it. We can again go to that, explore the items and all. So the king was again investing money because a lot of money is required. So they invested the money. Again he sent some, not the Vasco da Gama. Again he sent somebody else. So ultimately in 10 years they explored all western side. The one fellow who came to along with Portuguese is Albuquerque. Before that, two people have come. He was the one very notorious. In the sense, the aim of the Portuguese was to buy the spices, but they decided to rule this country, conquer the places, build the fortresses, all the bandars, they wanted to build it. So can you imagine, within 15-20 years, this Aloysius, Albuquerque, he captured whole Western India, he captured Arabian countries, he went to Ceylon, he went to Malacca, he went to China, he went to Japan. In the western side, they captured Brazil, they captured all the places. Now imagine, the Portugal, which is a small city like a Karnataka, 50% of the world. Within 25 years, 15% of the world, they covered. 50% of the world, they covered. Is it possible? It is possible. They have done it. So can you imagine, in the western side, they bombarded everything. They have a navy. They have cannons. They have all the gundu hako idu machine alla. But only three kings did not surrender. Can you mention who is that? One is the Calicut king, one is the Rani Abbakka, one is the China Bhaira Devi. Who is China Bhaira Devi? One our Rani, she is the Rani, Gerusuppe Rani. So imagine this, such a big Portuguese having 50% of the world, some Ullala 25,000 kilometers, 25k square millimeter of Ullala. It's small, comparatively this thing, it's very small. But there was the Rani Queen Abbakka. In 1525, Portuguese captured Mangalore. They captured not because of only easy things, just go and this thing and all. They fought all Karnat, Mulki, they fought Kannur, they Cochin, this thing, Karwar, Goa, Diu, Daman, everywhere, except these three places they could not do. Now coming to the Ullal, Mangalore they captured. The Mangalore was also ruled by the Jain. Who is Abbakka? Can you tell me? She is a Chauta dynasty. She is a Taula Rani. Abbakka is not a name. Her name is not Abbakka. Abbakka is name of our family. Jairam Shetty said some 3 Abbakkas are there and all. There may be 4, 5. Nobody is able to tell how many Abbakkas are there. So, but we are recognizing only 2 Abbakkas are there. This is Chauta dynasty. Chauta dynasty was 1100. They ruled. They came to in South Kannada side. They are ruling from Puttige. Abbakka was one of the capital, and Mudabadri also is one of the capital. Now Mangalore is also ruled by the Banga. Bangadi means it's in near Pananga, Mangalore. They are also Jains. All these Jain families, they are ruled by the matrilineal. What is matrilineal? Can anybody tell matrilineal means? Aliya Santana. It will not go to your, if you are a father, it will not go to your son, but it will go to your, the Rajabara will go to your sister's son, sister's daughter. So Tirumala, Chauta Tirumalaya is a Puttige uncle. He brought Abbakka in 1540. When? In 1540. So in 1525, this Portuguese, they captured already Mangalore. There was understanding between the king of Bangadi Raja and Portuguese that he had to pay tax and all. There is understanding between all the queens or rajas on the coastal side and everywhere that you have to pay kappa. The Portuguese say what they have done is, they have captured whole sea, not only here, Arabian Sea, Indian Ocean, Atlantic Ocean. So they didn't allow any ship, any cargo ships of local chieftains, local leaders. So they were all keeping their this thing. Whenever some cargo ships comes, they hit and all, they take that cargoes. So these people, they have to pay the kappas. That means taxes and all. But Rani Abbakka did not pay. Rani Abbakka's husband, who was a ruler of the Mangalore, who is married to the Rani Abbakka, he obliged. So can you imagine this one situation? So there was a rift between Rani Abbakka, Queen Abbakka and Bangaraja. His name was Lakshma Bangarasa. He is the first Lakshma Bangarasa. This Lakshma Bangarasa also is a family name. So imagine Rani Abbakka also was in Mangalore. She comes to Ullal. I don't want to tell you this thing at all. When you are not obeying, when you are giving taxes to the Portuguese, this is our honor. We are earning something, why should we give the tax? So most of the traders in Rani Abbakka, Ullal is, Muslim traders. All Arabic traders were there. And most of the people there staying in Ullal is Magaviras, Muslims, Hindus, even Christians. 52 the Christians came to India. That time some Christians were also there. They had a very, very, cordial relations. Abbakka knew on 1525 when Portuguese attacked Mangalore, she knew the Portuguese is going to attack Ullal. She knew they are going to not allowing to take our other things because the spices from Abbakka, from Ullal, from nearby is very, very costly and very precious ones. Even everywhere the heavy demand was there. So she prepared a quota and trained her all soldiers. See, imagine your girls are there, you are all there. She herself is a fighter. She learned horse riding. She learned katti. She learned arrow, this thing, fire arrow. Everything was there. And in spite of her husband not helping, husband is helping Portuguese. She was alone. She fought. Only because of this, when Jairam Shetty said, everybody said, because there was an amicable, cordial relation between all the religions, irrespective of caste, community and all. They were the fighters. They gave almost everybody sacrificed their lives. The first attack took place in 1555. Abbakka started in 1540. In 1555, the first attack came from Portuguese. But they could not conquer Ullal at all. In 58, they again attacked. They could not conquer. The viceroy was feeling very bad. The king from Lisbon getting messages. There was a queen who is there. Why are you not able to defeat her? Even the Jamorian from Calicut also was not able to defeat. Even the Channabhairadevi also was not able to defeat. Why are you not able to do it? The messages are going. Even the news of these Abbakkas go on all over Europe and Persia and all these things. Everywhere they went. We are not able to defeat Abbakka. We are not able to defeat Abbakka. 1967, again they are attacking. On Bexeto, he came here with the Noron and all these things. The ship very near to the Ullal it comes. They bombard the Abbakka's whole palace. Whole city was fired. Every coconut was destroyed. It was a barren land and all. They went into the palace of Abbakka. She was attacked. She got wounded. It was devastated. Portuguese were very happy. They went to the shore. They enjoyed and all. They were having a merry all drinks, things and all. Abbakka ran away. Abbakka ran to the where, Alekala mosque. Do you know where is the mosque and all? It's Alekala. She was hidden there. The local Muslims saved her. And the same night, most local Muslims, Mogaviras, gathered there. Then they went to the Bagrama Chamundeshwari. They all painted the black. Their small, this water was painted the black. Rani was also black. Every was black. So one team went up to the ship. One team went to the shore. So at one time, everybody attacked the ship. They threw that fire arrow to the ship. It was burnt, and those who are enjoying in the shore, who are Portuguese, they were killed, they are destroyed. Some people ran on the way, some people walking towards the Portuguese, some people killed. Everybody was this thing. It was really, that war is named as a fantastic in the history of the war. It never happened. The lady fighting alone with all the peoples and destroying such a mighty Portuguese. So Portuguese surrenders. They tried to later on amicably settle it, compromising and all, but Abbakka did not. Almost all the Malabari travelers or Malabari traders, they started coming to Ullal. Then from there they started trekking without Portuguese permission. The Portuguese themselves was killed, So that route was they developed, like land route also. Then so, but still, again 5 times Portuguese they attacked this thing. But the sad story is everywhere happens. This Bangarasa's nephew Kamaraya is the culprit. He wanted to take over Ullal. After her husband's death, Kamaraya is the one who helped the Portuguese. They came to Ullal. In fact, they came to destroy it again in 1984. Abbakka was killed. She was killed by the Portuguese and Kamaraya. We don't know who has killed and all, but she died. Her Abbanjara place is there. If any Muslims know that Jara is a place where he can bury and all. This is what happened to Queen Abbakka. Now all people's name they are given. Kottipokare, Channamarakala, Timmappa, Naranappa and all these things. They have cried so much and all. Because who is able to take care of Ullal and all? Now second comes the Rani Abbakka. In 1584, Hiri Abbakka has died. In 2000, in 1604, the second Abbakka comes. That means Kiri Abbakka. In between, there's one Raja was all. This is all history. You cannot this. Raja was ruling it. Now the Kiri Abbakka's story is similar to this thing only. She is more ferocious because she was knowing when probably her mother was fighting. She was more ferocious, and she was ruling in a manner. She herself is working. Not only in everybody, they were all agriculturists. Our Dhanlakshmi was selling. Rani Abbakka doesn't look like here like all this thing and all with a good sari and all. She was wearing a very, the top one, this thing, then top, bottom one, this thing only. But all ferocious. In all the types they are this thing, horse riding, everything was there. Everybody was happy with the Rani Abbakka. There is no discrimination between the people. There is no discrimination between the Muslims and Hindus. There is no discrimination between Jains and Hindus. In fact, there is one of the cases where the marriage takes place in the Jain and Maghaviras together. There is no this thing at all. She works daily, day and night. And she built a fortress such that whenever the Portuguese comes, they were never able to destroy it. All soldiers, the Kote is name called is Kotepura. Sainikas, they came there. She has trained such a people. Jamarin, he sent a Kutipapa. Who is Kutipakara? The Kunyali Marakara is there. Anybody from Kerala, they know it. They know that Kunyali Marakara is a Senadipati of Jamarin, and Kutipakara is the assistant. They came all the way to help this thing. And when Rani Abbakka first was ruling, Vijayanagara was ruling here. Up to the Chandragiri, Vijayanagara was ruling. And the second, Kiri Abbakka was there, Ikkeri, this thing was there. So Ikkeri also fought along with Rani Abbakka to send away Portuguese. But by the time when the Abbakka was there, only Abbakka and Zamorin only ruling. Even the Gersupe Rani, Jannabaila, also lost the battle. She lost the battle, she died also. In Ikkeri central there, she died. So now the two people only left. So then another 40 years, this Kiri Abbakka we call ruled. How it has come, this Abbakka's history was not known to anybody. 100 years back, everybody has come to know who is Abbakka and all. There was all Janapada news, there was all people who are Pardana were knowing it. One Dallavalle was there, an Italian, this must be this thing. He is a traveler, he traveled almost 14 years. In 1612, he started travel from the Italy, Venice. Then he started coming to the India. Before that, he met this Persia king. All these people are telling, see, where are you going and all? He said, I am going towards this western side and all. So everybody was telling, if you are going there, if you are going to Goa, if you are going to Mangalore, if you are going to there, please go and see Ullala. There is one queen is there. She is fought against the Portuguese. See, this is not a history, story, because whatever the Portuguese were doing, whatever the Portuguese were, they were writing to their Lisbon, they were writing to the kings. It is all written in the Portuguese. Every item, every day, what has happened, every captain has to give a details. So the Portuguese were also knowing all these things, Abbakka's this thing, even though our local history may not be doing, but there is chronicle, it is written in the archives of, even in Goa it is there, in Lisbon also it is there. So this Dallavalle came, he came to Ullal, but the first day when he came to Ullal, he could not find her, but he went to the Rani's palace, everything he saw, everything he recorded, all these things and all. So, but he thought, definitely I have to meet Rani Abbakka, Queen Abbakka at any cost and all. So he stays back, he goes back to the Mangalore, then again next day he comes back. Next day he says that she was known that she is staying in Manali. Can you know who knows Manali? It is next to after the Gurpura. River it is there, she was going by the river. That is also one of the ruling place she was doing it, very near to the Puttige. There he goes. See, imagine when he sees her, she is working in the field with so many ladies. Of course, there are some people are there, this thing, working in the field, not like looking like Rani. For example, Dhanlakshmi Gatti, mostly she looks like a little fatter. Dhanlakshmi Gatti also, little fat, like that only. Never imagine she is the queen and all. And that she spoke, there was languages of people are there. Dubase, you call, people can tell this thing different, Portuguese and this thing and all. She asked so many questions about him. Why have you come here? What are the reasons? Some suspect was there originally. But they realized he is come for all these things. So she was asking, he is also asking questions. The queen's palace was, a boy was also there. Probably her son was there. So everything is collecting. Everything he collected, he wrote, he written. The book was translated by Nagagowda. It is read, everywhere it is there in the, even your Wikipedia is there, everywhere is there. So even this Abbakka was been attacked by every time, Portuguese. She might have sometimes given the taxes, sometimes she said no. But ultimately he also said no, we will not give, definitely will not give. So this, can you imagine such a situation happening in this place, where there is no constitution, where there is no state-wise, but ruler follows all the rules of rulership. She takes, ರಾತ್ರಿ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ನ್ಯಾಯಾಧೀಯ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾಳೆ. ರಾತ್ರಿ 10 ಗಂಟೆ ಆದರೂ ನಮ್ಮ ಪ್ಲೇಸಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದರೂ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆದರೆ ಎನಿಥಿಂಗ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್ಸ್ ಬಿಟ್ಟಿನ ದಿಸ್ ಥಿಂಗ್, ಶಿ ಗಿವ್ಸ್ ದ ಜಸ್ಟಿಸ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. Everything is prosperous. Agriculture is there, spices are very good, everything is there. Port is rebuilt. Can you imagine this is the situation there? Again, she was also killed by the Portuguese. But that time, Ikkeri, Venkatappa Nayak and other people were there. So the Portuguese were not able to capture Ullal at all. But by the time Portuguese also lost India, Portugal also was looking very bad. They are losing a lot of money. Then they went back to Goa, settled. So they left all the places. Ikkeri, this thing, then they came, then Hyderali came, then Tippu came, then the Dutchess came, Britishers came, all these Ullalas. So you don't see anything about this thing at all. Any Portuguese, only this thing. The first Portuguese came, the first church was built in Dakshin Kannada. First church was built is where exactly, can you tell? It was built in Rosario. The second church, when Rani Abbakka was there, built in Farangipete. The third church built was, can you tell me where? This is nearby Panir Church. Very near to your place. This is the Panir Church, is built by the Portuguese. And that time, they came all the way without any this thing. The Panir Church was built by the Portuguese. Now let me tell you how is Ullal now. If you want to see whether it is what I am telling correct or not, I will tell you some places where you can visit. I will be finishing my talk in another 5 minutes. Now if you go to Ullal, whether it is Rani Abbakka was there, see Abbakka's place was Talapadi, Someshwara, Ullal and all. If you go to Uchila, the temple is there. There top you go, that is the place where Abbakka used to see and see where Portuguese are coming under. There you see that some Goda is there in that. Next you come to Somanatheshwara. Somanatha Devasthana is there. The Aradhya this thing. Every time she used to take this thing. In Somanatha Devasthana, if you go inside, there is a Jaladroni is there. That is written there in that, denoted by the Queen Abbakka. Even now you can see, if anybody has seen Abbakka Sankata, that book it says, that book shows that Jaladroni this thing. It written very clearly. And all their Kallu is there in that. There are Veeragallus are there in that Devasthana. Then you come to where you come to the Ombathukere. You must have heard Ombathukere. Yes, Ombathukere means that is the place where Rani Abbakka's belongs. So near to that there was her palace was there. That is called Mukkacheri. Mukkaru means, Mukkacheri means that's all Mooraru, Mukkacheri and all staying and all. Then comes the Basti Padpu. Why Basti Padpu was given? There is a Basadi is there. That is called Basti Padpu. So then comes the Vagra Chamundeshwari. Then comes the Kotepura. Kotepura was named because the Kote is there. Mastikate, why it is named? The Mastikallu is there. Because those who have died, husband after they give the Mastikallu. This is a place is still there. Do you know Bandasale and all? There is a godown is there, where you can still see that Abbakka used to bring all the godowns and ship small used to come. So these are the places are there. You can see even there is a relation between Malaraya temple, even Bhagavati temple, even so many temples are there. Your Alekala temple, Alekala Masjid is still there. So this is the place where you have to visit now. So Abbakka is relevant. Abbakka is at present, Abbakka was there, Abbakka is relevant. Abbakka is relevant to what? Abbakka is relevant for Deshabhimanya. Abbakka is relevant for dhairya. Abbakka is relevant for Komu Sauharda. Abbakka is relevant for her sacrifice. What sacrifice then? She has lost her husband. She has lost everything. All these things. She gave her life. Everything for the cause of the nation. Don't you think she has been called as the first queen of this thing? Do you know how many days Jhansi Lakshmi this thing ruled? Do you know how many Kittur Channamma ruled? Do you know Vanaka Abba how many days? Vanaka Abba ruled for only 1 month. 1 day she has killed everybody. Kittur Channamma how many? Say maybe 2-3 months or 3-6 months. Then Sangol Rani came. Jhansi Lakshmi 2 years. 45 years. First Hiri Abbakka. Second Kiri Abbakka. Another 40 years. 95 years of Abbakka rule in Ullala. And she is the one, the first colonized against the rulers. Duchess, French, this thing, Britishers came afterwards. Don't you think she is the first freedom fighter of our this thing? She should be called as the freedom fighter, first freedom fighter. So remember that. Queen Abbakka saved Ullala. This was the area all coming to the Ullala. Don't think that is Amembala is this thing. She was coming up to this is the area coming up to her also. Even Ranipura church, there is a Ranipura name was there. Her name was Ranipura also. That was also Ranipura name because of her only. Here we have survived today amicably between all the families, between all the cultures. There is no discrimination between cultures. Why? Because, can you tell me why? Abbakka was a Jain. She was not a Hindu. She was a Jain. She all Daivasthana, Bhutasthana, all Masjidi, all church was also there. So everybody was together ruled. 90 years of ruling they did it. Both Kiri Abbakka and Hiri Abbakka. Don't you think her sacrifice is greater than anybody else? So, if anything is, by mistake I told wrong, kindly excuse me. So far I might have done something, whatever I am able to tell you, hope you understood. It may be useful for you. I am thankful for the principal and all of your students and also the college staffs and my people, honorable ಎಲ್ಲ ವೇದಿಕೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಗೆಸ್ಟ್ಗಳಿಗೆ ನನ್ನ ಅಭಿಮಾನ ಸಲ್ಲಿಸಿ ಮಾತನ್ನು ಮುಗಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಜೈ ಹಿಂದ್, ಜೈ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ.
Respected guests on the dais, my dear students and of course teachers, good afternoon. Yeah. One thing I have learnt in my long career as a teacher is you can hold students not more than 40 minutes. That is the maximum listening capacity of students. Beyond that, if they are high school students, they will look attentive. If they are college students, they will start sleeping. So after 45 minutes, only thing they are trying to listen is for the bell or their attendance name. So I should respect what I have learnt. So I will not, even though it is past 40 minutes now, I will not take very long time. Very briefly, there is nothing. This Abbakka untold story is no more an untold story now. Whole story has been told. So there is nothing for me to speak. Except let me remind you, it is a coincidence that yesterday we were supposed to hold this program and yesterday we were supposed to pay homage to another martyrs, another group of people, soldiers who laid down their lives in 1999 Kargil war. So let us remember that if this were to be held yesterday, we would have been paying homage to two groups of people. One is Rani Abbakka and us soldiers and 99 Kargil soldiers. I am a little partial for the Kargil soldiers because I was a soldier long back. So another thing, it is surprising that we have to teach our students about Rani Abbakka. I think everybody knows about Kittur Rani Chennamma or Vanake Obava or Ahalya. All these are there in the textbooks. But our own such brave queen we have to teach our students. It is really unfortunate. I am not saying that it should come in the textbooks. At least at home, we should educate our children about our past. Remember, another great thing about Rani Abbakka is she was a warrior queen 300 years because any of the names known to you, your Kittur Rani, Chennamma or Onaki, they all came in 17th or 18th century. Rani Abbakka was there in 16th century. So about Rani Abbakka, I don't have to tell you anything. But one thing usually students ask, why should we learn history? It is dead and gone. Why should we learn? Let me tell you, there are two important things why should you learn history. One is you learn about bad people so that you do not repeat what they have done. It is said that those who do not learn from history are damned to repeat it. Next is you learn about people like Rani Abbakka so that you get inspired. So Rani Abbakka's is a story. It is a reminder that we should never give up on our dreams. Doesn't matter how difficult it is. She is an inspiration. She should be an inspiration to youngsters who want to make a difference in the world. And she shows us that anything is possible if we set our minds to it. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದವನ್ನು ನೀಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಸಮಿತಿಯ ಕೋಶಾಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳಾದಂತಹ ಆನಂದ್ ಅಸೇಗೋಳಿ ಅವರು.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಕನಚೂರು ವಿದ್ಯಾಸಂಸ್ಥೆ ಮತ್ತು ಉಳ್ಳಾಳ ವೀರರಾಣಿ ಹಬ್ಬಕ್ಕ ಉತ್ಸವ ಸಮಿತಿ ಆಯೋಜನೆ ಮಾಡಿದಂತಹ ಅನ್ಟೋಲ್ಡ್ ಸ್ಟೋರಿ ಆಫ್ ಉಳ್ಳಾಳ ರಾಣಿ ಹಬ್ಬಕ್ಕ ಅನ್ನತಕ್ಕಂಥ ವಿಚಾರದ ಸೆಮಿನಾರ್ನ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ಉದ್ಘಾಟನೆ ಮಾಡಿದಂಥವರು ನಮ್ಮ ಉಳ್ಳಾಳದ ಮಾಜಿ ಶಾಸಕರು, ವೀರರಾಣಿ ಹಬ್ಬಕ್ಕ ಉತ್ಸವ ಸಮಿತಿಯ ಸ್ವಾಗತ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರು ಆಗಿರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಗೌರವಾನ್ವಿತ ಜಯರಾಮ್ ಶೆಟ್ಟಿ ಕೆ ಇವರಿಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಜಂಟಿ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಹೃತ್ಪೂರ್ವಕವಾದಂಥ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳನ್ನ ಸಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷ ಸ್ಥಾನವನ್ನು ವಹಿಸಿಕೊಂಡಂಥವರು ಕನಚೂರ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೆಡಿಕಲ್ ಸೈನ್ಸಸ್ನ ಡೀನ್ ಆಗಿರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ರತ್ನಾಕರ್ UP ಅವರಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ನಮ್ಮ ಜಂಟಿ ಸಮಿತಿಯ ಪರವಾಗಿ ನಾನು ಹೃತ್ಪೂರ್ವಕವಾದಂಥ ಅಭಿನಂದನೆಯನ್ನು ಸಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಬಹುಶಃ ನಿಮಗೆಲ್ಲ ಸುಮಾರು 1 ಗಂಟೆವರೆಗೆ ಅಬ್ಬಕ್ಕನ ಜೀವನ ಚರಿತ್ರೆ, ಇತಿಹಾಸ ಮತ್ತು ಅವಳ ದುರಂತದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಸಮಗ್ರ ಮಾಹಿತಿಯನ್ನು ನೀಡಿದಂಥವರು ನಮ್ಮ ಉಳ್ಳಾಳ ವೀರರಾಣಿ ಹಬ್ಬಕ್ಕ ಉತ್ಸವ ಸಮಿತಿಯ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರು, ಉಳ್ಳಾಳ ನಗರಸಭೆಯ ಮಾಜಿ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರು, ಪ್ರಸ್ತುತ ಕೌನ್ಸಿಲರ್ ಆಗಿರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ನಮ್ಮ ಗೌರವಾನ್ವಿತ ದಿನಕರ್ ಉಳ್ಳಾಳ್ರವರನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ನಮ್ಮ ಕನಚೂರು ವಿದ್ಯಾಸಂಸ್ಥೆ ಮತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ ಸಮಿತಿಯ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಹೃತ್ಪೂರ್ವಕವಾದ ಧನ್ಯವಾದವನ್ನು ಸಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಸಮಾರಂಭದ ಮುಖ್ಯ ಅತಿಥಿಗಳಾಗಿ ಆಗಮಿಸಿದಂಥವರು ಶ್ರೀಮತಿ ಧನಲಕ್ಷ್ಮಿ ಗಟ್ಟಿ, ನಮ್ಮ ಸಮಿತಿಯ ಪ್ರಧಾನ ಕಾರ್ಯದರ್ಶಿಗಳು ಹೌದು, ದಕ್ಷಿಣ ಕನ್ನಡ ಜಿಲ್ಲಾ ಪಂಚಾಯತಿನ ಮಾಜಿ ಸದಸ್ಯರು ಕೂಡ ಹೌದು. ಅವರನ್ನು ಬಹಳ ಗೌರವದಿಂದ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳನ್ನು ಸಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಇನ್ನೋರ್ವ ಮುಖ್ಯ ಅತಿಥಿ ಸದಾನಂದ ಬಂಗೇರವರು, ನಮ್ಮ ಸಮಿತಿಯ ಗೌರವ ಉಪಾಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರು, ಉಳ್ಳಾಳ ಮೊಗವೀರ ಸಂಘದ ಮಾಜಿ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರು ಕೂಡ ಹೌದು. ಅವರಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ನಮ್ಮ ಜಂಟಿ ಸಮಿತಿಯ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಹೃತ್ಪೂರ್ವಕವಾದಂಥ ಧನ್ಯವಾದವನ್ನು ಸಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಇನ್ನೋರ್ವರು ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕ ಕಾರ್ಯಕರ್ತರು, ನಮ್ಮ ಹಬ್ಬಕ್ಕ ಉತ್ಸವ ಸಮಿತಿಯ ಉಪಾಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರು ಆಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಗೌರವಾನ್ವಿತ ಶ್ರೀ ಹೈದರ್ ಪರ್ತಿಪಾಡಿಯವರು ನಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆಯಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ನಮ್ಮ ವಿದ್ಯಾಸಂಸ್ಥೆ ಮತ್ತು ಉತ್ಸವ ಸಮಿತಿಯ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳನ್ನು ಸಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಎಲ್ಲಕ್ಕಿಂತಲೂ ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗಿ ಈ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗೆ ನಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಬಹಳ ಹೃತ್ಪೂರ್ವಕವಾಗಿ ಸ್ವಾಗತಿಸಿ ಇವತ್ತು ಸ್ವಾಗತ ಭಾಷಣ ಮಾಡಿದಂಥ ಈ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯ ಹೆಮ್ಮೆಯ ಪ್ರಾಂಶುಪಾಲರಾಗಿರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಗೌರವಾನ್ವಿತ ಶ್ರೀಮತಿ ಶಾಹಿದಾ BM ಪ್ರಾಂಶುಪಾಲರು, ಕನಚೂರು ವಿದ್ಯಾಸಂಸ್ಥೆ, ಇವರಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ನಮ್ಮ ಸಮಿತಿಯ ಪರವಾಗಿ ತುಂಬು ಹೃದಯದ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳನ್ನು ಸಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಹಾಗೆ ಇನ್ನೋರ್ವರು ನಮ್ಮ ಸಮಿತಿಯ ಸಂಚಾಲಕರಾಗಿರತಕ್ಕಂಥ UP ಆಲೆಬ್ಬನವರು. ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ವರ್ಷಗಳಿಂದ ನಮ್ಮ ಸಮಿತಿ ಆದಾಗಿನಿಂದ ಇವತ್ತಿನವರೆಗೂ ಕೂಡ, ನಾಳೆಯೂ ಕೂಡ ಈ ಉತ್ಸವ ಸಮಿತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬಹಳ ಸಕ್ರಿಯ ಕಾರ್ಯಕರ್ತರಾಗಿ ದುಡಿಯತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಬ್ಬ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ಇವತ್ತು ಕೂಡ 12 ಗಂಟೆಗೆ ಬಂದು ಇಲ್ಲಿಯ ಎಲ್ಲ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆಯನ್ನು ನಮ್ಮ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರ ಜೊತೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿದಂಥವರು. ಅವರಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ನಾನು ನಮ್ಮ ವಿದ್ಯಾಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಮತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ ಸಮಿತಿಯ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಹೃತ್ಪೂರ್ವಕವಾದಂಥ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳನ್ನು ಸಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಹಾಗೆ ಈ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯ ಪ್ರಾಂಶುಪಾಲರು ಮತ್ತು ಎಲ್ಲ ಶಿಕ್ಷಕ ಸಿಬ್ಬಂದಿ ವರ್ಗ, ನಾನ್ ಟೀಚಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟಾಫ್ ಅವರಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ನಾನು ತುಂಬ ಹೃದಯದ ಧನ್ಯವಾದವನ್ನು ಸಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಹಾಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಉಳ್ಳಾಳ ವೀರರಾಣಿ ಹಬ್ಬಕ್ಕ ಉತ್ಸವ ಸಮಿತಿಯ ಸರ್ವ ಸದಸ್ಯರು ಕೂಡ ಇವತ್ತು ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಆಗಮಿಸಿದಿರಿ. ಅವರನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ನಾನು ಭಾಳ ಗೌರವದಿಂದ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಧನ್ಯವಾದವನ್ನು ಸಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಮಾಧ್ಯಮ ಮಿತ್ರರಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ದೃಶ್ಯ ಮಾಧ್ಯಮರಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಪತ್ರಿಕಾ ಮಾಧ್ಯಮದವರಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಛಾಯಾಚಿತ್ರಗಾರ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇವರೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ ನಾನು ಭಾಳ ಆತ್ಮೀಯವಾಗಿ ಸ್ವಾಗತಿಸುತ್ತಾ ಅಭಿನಂದಿಸುತ್ತಾ, ಕೊನೆಯದಾಗಿ ಈ ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಕಣ್ಣು ಮತ್ತು ಕಿವಿಯಾಗಿ ಬಹಳ ಶಿಸ್ತಿನಿಂದ ಇದ್ದುಕೊಂಡು ಈ ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಯಶಸ್ವಿನ ಹಿಂದೆ ನಮ್ಮ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳ ಪಾತ್ರ ಬಹಳ ಪ್ರಮುಖವಾಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಅಂದುಕೊಂಡು ಅವರಿಗೂ ನಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಹೃತ್ಪೂರ್ವಕವಾದ ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಸಲ್ಲಿಸುತ್ತಾ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಕೊನೆಗೊಳಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಜೈ ಹಿಂದ್, ಜೈ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ.
ಕರ್ಗಳಾದಂಥ ಆನಂದ್ ಅಸೇಗೋಳಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಕೂಡ ಧನ್ಯವಾದವನ್ನು ಸಮರ್ಪಿಸುತ್ತಾ, ಮತ್ತೊಮ್ಮೆ ಮಗದೊಮ್ಮೆ ಇನ್ನೊಮ್ಮೆ ನಿಮಗೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಉಜ್ವಲವಾದಂಥ ಭವಿಷ್ಯ ಸಿಗಲಿ, ಭವ್ಯ ಭಾರತದ ಪ್ರಜೆಗಳಾಗಿ ಎಂಬ ಆಶಯದೊಂದಿಗೆ ಸದಾ ವೀರರಾಣಿ ಅಬ್ಬಕ್ಕ ಉತ್ಸವ ಸಮಿತಿಗೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸಹಕಾರ ಇರಲಿ ಎಂಬ ನಾಣ್ಣುಡಿಯೊಂದಿಗೆ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ಮುಗಿಸುತ್ತಾ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರಗೀತೆಯೊಂದಿಗೆ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಮುಕ್ತಾಯ.